Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving straight into how artificial intelligence is completely transforming the often exhausting world of qualitative data analysis. Now, we all know that collecting qualitative data is really just the beginning of your research journey. The real magic? Well, that happens when we transform those raw, messy human narratives into meaningful insights that actually drive evidence-based decision-making. So, we're going to explore exactly how AI can act as your highly intelligent assistant to accelerate this entire workflow without ever, and I mean ever, replacing your critical human judgment. We'll anchor our whole journey today in this raw, really poignant participant quote, asking what prevents girls from completing secondary education. Because qualitative research, it's fundamentally about human narratives. It's about understanding meanings, lived experiences, behaviors, and social realities that simple numbers just can't capture. Throughout this explainer, we're going to use this exact student's experience as a continuous worked example, so we can watch in real time how raw data evolves into a finalized, polished research theme. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover the qualitative data challenge, choosing your analytical method, coding basics, the AI-assisted coding workflow, comparing AI tools, and finally, the importance of the human in the loop. Let's get to it.
Section 1, the Qualitative Data Challenge.
Let's be real for a second and look at the overwhelming burden researchers face before AI even enters the picture. The reality of modern qualitative research is that datasets have become absolutely massive. Transforming all those transcripts into meaningful insights manually can take weeks or even months. It usually means sacrificing dozens of neon highlighters and sticky notes to the research gods in the process. Imagine sitting down with hundreds of interview transcripts, dozens of focus groups, endless field notes, reading those pages repeatedly, trying to assign codes, grouping ideas. It's just incredibly demanding intellectually. Manual coding is totally valid, sure, but the sheer volume of data we collect today really demands serious time and resources.
Section 2, choosing your analytical method. Before you open up any software, you've got to make a crucial methodological decision. AI is here to support your approach, never to determine it for you. You might use grounded theory if you're trying to build brand new theories directly from the ground up. Or maybe you'd lean on narrative analysis to focus heavily on the flow and structure of personal stories. Or discourse analysis to unpack power dynamics in hidden meanings in language. But most often, researchers are weighing two main approaches: content analysis versus thematic analysis. Content analysis systematically counts and categorizes what is being said. So if you're analyzing policy documents to see what topics pop up the most, it's your highly structured best friend. But if you're doing social research and need to know the why, like why our student actually stopped attending school, you need thematic analysis to dive deep into those complex underlying participant experiences.
Section 3, coding basics. So, how do we actually tag all this data? Remember, coding isn't just highlighting text. It's a super systematic analytical process. Let's look at 3 specific ways to code our transcript, starting with descriptive coding. This one is exactly what it sounds like. It simply summarizes the core topic, helping us systematically map out the primary access barriers the student faced. When she mentions the secondary school being an hour away, boom, we apply the descriptive code long travel distance. It's a straightforward, highly effective way to organize mountains of data by what is fundamentally being discussed. Now, NVivo coding, this one is fascinating. It preserves the participant's authentic voice, which is absolutely vital when their specific language carries a heavy emotional weight. Instead of us, as researchers, imposing some clinical academic term on the data, we literally just use their phrase, stopped attending. This is incredibly powerful in community research because preserving local terminology and the actual lived experience is paramount. And then we have process coding. This shifts our analytical focus entirely to actions, tracking exactly what the participant is doing or experiencing over time. It's all about the gerunds, those words ending in ing, like traveling, negotiating, or adapting. This captures the dynamic, ongoing nature of the participant's reality. It helps us see education not just as a static building they go to, but as an active, continuous struggle. Section 4, the AI-assisted coding workflow. Okay, so let's see how all of this builds into our actual AI integration. How do we take those coding principles and supercharge them? Well, here is the essential workflow. Notice that AI does not replace your analysis, it just rapidly accelerates the repetitive tasks. Step 1 is absolutely critical: transcript preparation. You have to clean, standardize, and anonymize your data. High-quality input gives you high-quality AI outputs. Once you import it, the AI can organize hundreds of transcripts and detect preliminary concepts in a fraction of the time. But look closely at step 4, the researcher must manually review those codes. For our student's transcript, the AI instantly detects these initial concepts. It does the heavy computational lifting of first-cycle coding in mere seconds. It read her quote about the school being an hour away and the travel being unsafe, and it accurately spit out these foundational building blocks. It successfully categorized the raw text. But remember, the AI doesn't understand local culture, political context, or hidden subtext. It's an assistant. It's just giving us a massive head start.
Section 5. Comparing AI research tools. So which platform should you actually use to generate those codes? General AI tools are fantastic for brainstorming and summarizing, but as you can see, their outputs always require your rigorous validation. ChatGPT offers excellent reasoning for refining your code definitions. Claude is an absolute powerhouse if you have massively long transcripts because its context window is huge. Gemini is great if your whole team lives in the Google ecosystem and you need to compare documents side by side. And NotebookLM? It's incredibly strong for source-grounded analysis because it strictly analyzes exactly what you upload, which practically eliminates hallucinations.
Now, in contrast to those general tools, traditional qualitative data analysis software offers robust project management, so the most effective workflow often combines both types. General AI gives you reasoning and speed, but purpose-built software like NVivo, ATLAS.ti AI, and MAXQDA AI manage your entire coding system. They give you visual network diagrams, relationship mapping, and most importantly, they maintain a rigorous audit trail. If you're doing professional or academic research, using the AI features integrated directly inside these traditional platforms gives you the absolute best of both worlds.
Section 6. The human in the loop.
At the end of the day, human judgment remains the absolute center of this entire process. AI makes qualitative analysis faster, yes, but it doesn't automatically make it better. That is entirely up to you. When setting this up, there are a few ethical non-negotiables to keep in mind. First off, never ever upload identifiable participant info. A really common trap researchers fall into is relying purely on AI summaries instead of actually reading the original transcripts, or even worse, letting the AI interpret the final findings on its own. It's an incredible assistant, sure, but it supports your analysis. It doesn't replace your qualitative methodology.
Here we see the human in the loop actively refining those early AI outputs. We get our hands dirty, critically grouping them into nuanced categories like gender norms and safety to construct real meaning. We take those initial codes the AI generated, like safety concerns and long travel distance, and we apply our deep contextual understanding. We merge them. We realize that safety concerns in this specific cultural context relates deeply to gender-related mobility restrictions, right? So we group them into a broader category of gender norms. The AI couldn't make that cultural leap on its own, but you can.
Through human interpretation, those basic automated codes are successfully transformed into these profound final themes that directly answer our research question about girls' education. Just look at that third theme. Family support alone is insufficient without safe access. The raw transcript told us her parents really wanted her to go to school, but she couldn't because of the distance and safety. The AI found the codes, but the human researcher, they synthesized that contradiction into a powerful, policy-relevant insight.
The strongest qualitative studies combine the computational efficiency of artificial intelligence with the completely irreplaceable expertise of a human researcher. Good qualitative analysis still depends entirely upon your critical thinking, your reflexivity, and your careful interpretation. These tools are just here to clear the busy work out of your way so you can do what you actually do best, understand the human experience. So the question remains, will you let AI automate your voice away? Or will you use it to elevate your research to heights that were previously impossible? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I'll leave you to think about that as you start your next big project.